is a 2015 independent American slasher film.
It's pretty much about a detective going through a lot of personal things and struggles in his life and having to deal with this right after that. And the whole story is pretty much wrapped around that.
It's kind of a throwback to the horror movies of the 70s and 80s.
So, Loon is an indie horror film, and it's about a psycho crazed killer who was bullied by these kids in the neighborhood.
Loon's pretty awesome. It's this crazy clown guy, kills people, and who doesn't like to see a crazy clown guy kill people? It's kind of cool.
Charlie Graves is a bat-wielding, clown mask-wearing, rage-filled psychopath.
Charlie Graves is the crazy clown guy that kills people. He killed me with a baseball bat, and
I like the idea of Charlie Graves. I like what Brandon made with Charlie Graves. It's almost like an homage, like that throwback to the stuff I grew up with. What really brought me into liking horror films. He's scary, and it's simple how scary he is. I think that coldness, that black and white, you die or you don't, is what really adds a lot of horror to him. There's no negotiating. He's just this being that lives to exact some sort of crazy revenge. It's really cool. He's scary to me. He's really scary.
They burned his house down and they killed his dog and they did all these horrible things, so he went to live out in the woods, get away from everything, and basically if anybody came near him, then you were putting yourself in grave danger. and,
Charlie Graves is a psychopath in a clown mask.
He was just upset at the world. He had gone crazy. He was living by himself.
pretty psycho clown guy.
He's not a bad guy in the sense of evil. He's a bad guy in the sense of, these people wronged me. I'm taking revenge, but I don't know when to stop.
It was too much, and he was a young kid when this all happened, so I mean, just that would drive you into insanity.
Charlie Graves on set is something you really don't want to be around. He doesn't say too much. He kind of just stares at you and grips his baseball bat really tight. It's not very pleasant of an experience.
Charlie Graves was quiet and murdery on the set.
Charlie Graves on set. You know, the weird thing was, the way we shot this, I didn't spend a lot of time working around Charlie Graves. It seemed like every time he had a scene, I didn't, or every time I had a scene, he didn't. So I didn't come across him very much. And I don't know if I would have. You know, you watch the takes and things like that. We watch trailers and you watch video. And I don't think that's something I would spend a lot of time risking my life to be around.
Filming Loon was awesome. This is my second film I've done. I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with acting and everything, but filming Loon was an amazing experience.
Filming Loon was epic. It was our third feature-length film, but our first film that actually felt like we were making a real film.
This is the first movie I've ever done. I didn't know that this is how it went. It was really hard to keep up with the pace. It was a lot of fun doing it, hectic, and the freeform part of it was something I really appreciated.
It was definitely a really good environment. I was working with Brandon and Randy, which was really not the best experience, with John Neiman and all these people, and I got to know a lot of people, and I had a really good time. Everything was just really fun and exciting. I will kill you.
Filming Loon was awesome. Got to break through a wall and everything. There's a whole buttload of bloopers that are probably way funny to watch. I haven't seen them yet, but I kind of want to.
It was really strange trying to keep up with how it was shot, shooting out of order. This whole movie thing is just all new to me, and shooting things out of order and trying to remember where we were in the story to try to keep as accurate as possible was really difficult for me. That guerrilla style, it was just like a punch. We show up, bam, knock it out, do something 100 times, knock it out, and go home. You know, it was really cool. Everybody sucked but me. Of course I'm kidding. That was a joke. Don't keep that.
I should put it in there, right?
I kind of know them personally, so it was a pretty comfortable situation.
The cast was made up entirely of friends and family, most of which had worked on Hacked Up for Barbecue and Blood for Blood back with us a couple years ago. So it kept things nice and tight.
Well, you know, half the crew or half the people were my family, so that was a little awkward. It was a little awkward talking to my mother as another character, you know, and I'm sure they did it to me. But when you're sitting behind the camera watching somebody screw up a line over and over and over again, and you get frustrated with them, but as soon as the camera's turned on you, you screw up a line over, or it's just not right over and over and over again. So it was frustrating, but you could see how the whole thing worked, and it was kind of neat.
Working with the other actors on set was pretty cool. I'd known most of them for years, so it was like hanging out with friends. It was pretty fun.
The set was the 2012 Merritt Island Terror Nights haunted house set.
The set for the majority of the film was shot on location at Merritt Island Terror Nights in the off-season. We used the set from the 2012 year, and that was basically the set for our production there in 2013.
That was really kind of the fun part, is trying to look at things from a different point of view. You know, a lot of the stuff we filmed, I see or used to see or have seen on a regular basis. And trying to look at that from a moviegoer's or a director's eye was really fun. You know, when we did a few scenes, people would exit into a hallway. Well, that's supposed to be an exit in the movie, and that's not a hallway or a dead end here or that. And that's kind of, it's that imagination part is kind of fun, trying to work with it and make you see how things are supposed to be, not how they really are. I enjoyed it.
John Neiman and his kids built this awesome set out over at his property. And that's the scenes where you see Charlie sitting in his little area drinking the rainwater, kind of just chilling out. That was all built by John Neiman and his kids. We just decorated it with some masks and put a little Friday the 13th throwback in there.
It's scary back there. Those woods back there are just, they look, I don't know, unholy, I guess. Those woods look scary. The setup was so simple, you know, as if a child had done it, because children had done it. I think Brandon made a really good use of what was there, and, you know, fixed it up to fit.
People should see this film because I think the horror genre has kind of gone a different way. And I think we're trying to save it and bring it back.
I think people should see the movie because it's a cool, different spin on a lot of I've seen a lot of horror movies, and I think this one's different, and it will change the way people see horror films. It's kind of about bullying too. Like, you shouldn't hurt people that have problems. You shouldn't do that sort of stuff because it can really mess people up.
I think if you're 20 years old or older, you should see this film because it's going to bring you back to when you were a kid and the scary guys that we grew up on. It's got a lot of that in it. It does it in its own way, but it's got a lot of that slasher film feel to it. It's a little brighter, a little more modern, but I think you'd appreciate it just for the. I can't put my fingers on what it's called, but you know, that feeling that you had when you were a kid being scared around every corner.
I think that's why people should see it. It's not just going to be a hack and slash film. You know, there's a lot of character to it, a lot of depth, a lot more heart and, you know, history there than a lot of these horror films have, especially lately.
People should see this film because it's fucking awesome, that's why. And also there's a crazy clown guy that kills people, and also I'm in it.
Loon is different from other horror films just by its nature, I think. We didn't really intend to make a film that goes so far off the grid of what it means to be a slasher movie. It just kind of happened, and people are picking up on it. The people that have seen the film say, you know, it starts out as a slasher, and then it quickly turns into this whole other thing that, you know, they did not expect it to be.
I feel like Loon is different from other horror films because it's kind of just scary the whole time. And a lot of horror films, they start out normal and then they turn scary, but Loon is really just, it's scary the whole time, and it's got a lot of different views in it, and it just changes the way that horror films should be seen.
Well, I think in general, this film isn't really different. You just haven't seen what this film is doing in a long time. And I think that what's old is new and what's new is old kind of thing is happening here. I think if you pay close attention and if you're a fan of the genre, you're going to see a lot of similarities to stuff you haven't seen in a long time, and you're going to see some differences too. And I think the differences are what helps set it apart from those old films. But I think the similarities are what's going to make you drawn to it to begin with.
It kind of takes the slasher genre and modernizes it a little bit, but at the same time feels like a movie you would have seen back in 85 or 79, something like that. I think this film will be a horror film people haven't really seen in a long, long time.
This film, I think, kind of delves way more into the story than other horror films. I think it really looks into what's going on in the details.
It was a callback, yeah, purposely a callback, especially to films like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Friday the 13th series. I think a lot of the horror fans out there will pick up on those throwbacks as well when they see the film.
I'm excited because I'm in it, and also because it's just an interesting story, I think, and that people will really like it. So yeah, I'm excited.
We've got some really fun kills in it. I call them fun, I guess. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see people's reaction to this on a big scale.
It's something that can be added onto because it's just so thorough. It was thorough. When he was building the story, I guess, it was very thorough. He gave space for a lot of different things to happen.
I guess you're going to have to wait and see.
This message has been approved by Mike Lester.
He's still there. Nothing has happened to Charlie Graves. He's still there. We might be in the hospital, but he's still there.